So we are going to try and dig a pond with an excavator in very loose sand. I'm not sure how this is going to go. We have a low spot down here. It holds water all year. There's a river over there, if you can see that. So there is water in the soil all the time. This is about 1.5 years old, that small pond right there. And it held water all last year. It was a very dry year and it still held water. It got a little bit of algae right now. Last year it was quite clear. But as you can see, this is what came out of there, and it's a very light dry sand. So I'm not sure how the digging's gonna go. It's not clay or anything like that where you can shape it and sculpt it. But I don't know, we'll see. This is the base. It's always wet here, so we either have to fill it in and plant grass or dig it deep and hold water all year. This is the pins that I've sort of staked out to give the excavator something to kind of go off of, the shape of it. We'll have to see how it goes and if we can get that big of an area. It's quite large, but we do have the space to make it work if the digging goes all right. So before we dig tomorrow morning, the first thing I want to do is get rid of any frogs and anything alive in here, that they don't get squashed with the excavator tomorrow, and move them to the river that's only 50 yards that way. See if they stay that way for the night and don't come back. But this is what we got here. Oh, there's a turtle and a frog I have to try and catch. I'll try to do this with one hand and not drop a camera in. Put a little bit of water in this garbage can. And I don't know how this is gonna go. I have a very tiny net. Go for the big one first. Oh, that didn't work. Little guy. Oh, this is gonna be tough. There's one. Stay in there, stay in there. There's one. There's another big one over here by the stick. I don't know if I can get him without having him go deep. Come here, come here, come here. There we go. Another one. Usually 3 or 4 around here. They've stayed all here. Alright, I've weighted this one last frog out. It came up from bottom and it's on the other side of the pond. And I think I can get over there. It's going to be very skittish because it knows that I'm after him. But I just want to get him out of here so he doesn't get crushed by the excavator tomorrow. So he's right there. Again, I have the world's smallest net, but we'll try to get him into the net. All right, buddy. Let's just take you to the river. Oh, yeah. Come here. Where did he go? Ah! Down again. All right, the frog's back again. 3rd time trying to catch him. And that's probably it. I'm not going to try again, but... Okay, he's right there. Oh, he heard me. Come back. He's going to the other side. I gotta get him. Gotta get him. Oh, he sees me again. This is a smart frog. This is a... Oh, there's another one. Oh boy, this is not the way to do it. You should go from the front. Oh, go from the front. Go from the front. Oh boy, that's a big frog. There we go. Get in, get in, get in, get in, get in. Oh, he's in. Did he jump out of there? Is that an original one that I had? Wow. Can't jump out of a garbage can you? I think he did. There's my other one down here. The other one's down there. Oh, these frogs are going to jump out. Look at these frogs jumping. They can get out. Okay, I'm going to go for this one quick. He's right in the underground. Come here, come here, come here. That'll scare him up. Can I get him? I got him, I got him, I got him. Oh, my net broke. There. There we go. Oh boy. These guys can really jump. These guys can really jump. I underestimated how high they could jump. Didn't put enough water in. Alright, we finally got our 4 frogs over to the river. This is the river. So lots of room for them to be. And they're still in there. I'm afraid they're going to come back to the pond very quickly, but hopefully not before tomorrow morning. I'm going to dump them here. Hey guys. Have fun. Have fun. Alright, get out. What are you doing in there? Get out. Why do you want to stay in there? Come on. Go the other way. Go the other way. Alright. Bye, frogs. I went back to the pond just for one more check and to pick up my broken net and found a little turtle. Little painted turtle in there. I saw him in the first, when I saw the first frog. I don't know if that was on film or not, but he was there and he finally came back up, so we'll let him go in the river. Here's the turtle. We'll let him go. Stay in the river. Stay here. He's gone, and there's our frog. One frog. Our other frogs are, there's another one. There's a big one over under that stick. And there's probably another big one somewhere. But they seem to be, oh, there's the other big one right there. So they've all settled in, and hopefully they stay here. Hopefully the frogs stay for the next 24 hours or so before they finish with the pond. And they'll probably move back in. And I'll probably see them there again when the pond's done. So I climbed this big hill to just give you a good view of what we're looking at. It's much easier to see from up here. That's sort of what we're working with. The river, as you can see in the background, the pond is 8 inches higher than the river. We shot it with the transit, so it's definitely in around the same area as the river. I imagine it's water filtered through. So anyway, that's it for today. I got the pipe to lay out to pump the water out tomorrow, and Excavator shows up in the morning, so hopefully everything goes good. I'm going to try to put a camera on a tripod to do the time-lapse video of the dig. Hopefully that video turns out well. And that's it for now. Early morning, morning of the dig, and we're trying to pump the pond down a little bit. The question, nobody really knows how bad it's going to be for digging. We really want to keep the groundwater out of the pond as best we can with a pump so that the guys can see what they're digging. It's a lot easier when you can see what you're digging instead of reaching into muddy water. So we'll see how quick the water comes back. That'll be the big question, is how fast does the groundwater come back into the pond that they're digging. This is a 3-inch pump, and it's actually moving the water pretty well, so I don't think the groundwater is coming back that fast. The question will be when they multiply the pond by a much larger scale, does that much more water come in? So we'll have to see. But right now this has only been on for maybe 3 minutes and it's already moving the water down. So well, that didn't take much time at all. The 3-inch Honda pump can really move some water. Maybe 15 minutes, and it took all the water out of that pond. It's definitely coming back at a pretty quick rate. We'll have to see how it goes, but there's definitely some natural, lots of water in the ground naturally, so it's starting to flow back into the low spot. So we've had a little bit of an issue. The dump truck keeps getting stuck as it tries to leave with a full load to dump. So they're going to build a little bit of a quick road, hopefully a drier road, and that should fix the problem of the dump truck not being able to move around. So while they finish up the road, I'm going to pump out the water that's already showed up here. This hole's only been dug for maybe 40 minutes and it's already got quite a bit of water in it. So I'm going to try to remove the water, and I think he's going to start digging here very soon. Below. Lots of water coming back in. Pretty quick too. about the midway point of day one and not going too bad. Looks like they've made some progress, so hoping that continues for the rest of the day. Moving along pretty good. Near the end of the first day, I'm really want to be done tomorrow for, well, budget reasons mainly. But the biggest end of the pond was done. It kind of tapers just to change the shape a little bit on the last part that he's going to dig. It definitely gets a little bit smaller there. So I think I've got an hour or so left today to keep digging, and should be done tomorrow at least, and see how it fills in and how much is going to cave in on the sides, and to find out what depth we're going to end up at. He's pretty deep in the middle, probably, he thinks he's 14, 15 feet in the middle. It's hard to say where the water's going to come up to, but I'm quite happy with that. I'm sure a lot of it's going to sink in as the sides cave in, and if we're left with 10 feet in the end, I'm quite happy with that. So quite happy with how it's going, and a excavator operator that knows what they're doing is definitely valuable in these projects. They just do their thing, and I haven't really had to do much. Lots of springs. I don't know if it's springs or just trapped groundwater since we're so low below the river, but lots of water coming in. I can't pump anything near what's coming in now, so the pump's been put away. And see how much water's in here in the morning. That'll be the little bit of a concern maybe to start the second day of the dig. Well, they just finished up day one, and it went actually really well. It started out kind of slow this morning. I was a bit worried we'd be into multiple days finishing this off, but once they got going, once they got the truck that it could move in on a road, dry, high and dry, that really helped, and it's big already, and we got another day. Should be 2 days easy just to clean this up, one more day. And yeah, it's looking really good. Can't believe how much water is coming in. This is there's got to be 5 feet of water already in this pond, so it'd be interesting to see in the morning how high it comes up. So many little springs and streams coming in. The pump, I quit using that early in the morning. It couldn't keep up to anywhere near what the volume of water was coming in. But this is it's big. It's quite big, and it's not done yet. And I like the shape of it. Hopefully, we don't lose too much of the banks here, and it'll end up in the bottom of the pond is the problem. And kind of want to keep it as deep as possible, but it's really difficult digging in this sand. He doesn't know where bottom is. He can feel it, but he can't really see anything. So probably take a few days for it to clear. I'm interested to see how full it will be tomorrow. I really think it's going to be close to the top here, and they'll have to start off on that edge tomorrow and just keep pulling that way. I'm going to do a little bit more narrow in the at the end there. I'm going to sweep back out kind of almost like kidney bean shaped, just to give it a little bit of, just to make it look like it wasn't just dug in a rectangle. So I like the curve that he's got going on there with the turf that he took off. And yeah, it should be by noon tomorrow. I think he's going to be close to being done, which is a bonus when you're renting equipment by the hour. Is short as you can keep it, the better, for sure. But definitely the value of experienced operators is huge. These guys are so good. They just make it look easy, and the amount of land that you can move in an 8-hour day is actually pretty shocking when you stand back and look at it. And not easy digging. If it was dry conditions, it would have been a lot quicker to dig. They had to wait for the buckets to drain some of the water before we put it on the truck, so it was slow. I think he said 59 trucks today, so that's pretty good for an 8-hour day with 2 guys. Cost wise, it's not horrendous for what you get in the end. Hoping not to fall in here. See how muddy it is, but this is what we've got. It's nice, really nice sand. Really nice coarse beach sand, but just a lot of groundwater like that filtering in on the sand. Really nice. Oh, I lost my shoe. It's not good. This crevice is where it comes out. A little bit of gravel in most areas where the water's moving through. Really nice. You kind of see the level where the water wants to come out, down maybe 5-6 feet. It just pours in all across here. Nice trickle everywhere, like literally everywhere. This is a view from the other end. I'm going to try to come almost to this bucket here. He scraped away the shape a little bit. I want to swing back in now that we've come around this corner. Narrowest in the middle of the pond, and then maybe swing a bay, maybe a shallower bay on this end. Probably put fish in at some point and try to give them different various depths, I guess. Early morning, second day. The pond has filled up quite a lot. It's probably 3 to 4 feet from the top of where I think it's going to stop. You can take a look here. So that's it. Nice shape, looks good. Maybe another quarter of the way to go. I might push it a little bit if we're making good time. I might stretch it a little bit. Here's another shot of the pond before day 2 starts. It's gonna be a busy day. So this is the area where the excavator's sitting that try to move. I don't know how long that would be, 20, 30, maybe another 20 feet, and just kind of end it there. The truck driver yesterday counted 57 loads that came out of the pond. They weren't full loads. There's all from the pond. It's all sandy. So we've started to cut away some of the trees here, just to get ready to landscape. It won't be for a while, but while there's equipment here, it's always a good idea to put some of this excessive fill that we have into places that we might need it in the future, and then at least it's there. So might keep this natural. It's a little bit of a nice curve here, and it just kind of works with the sort of the natural ground. I might leave this corner over here just shaded and treed. We'll see how it looks. I don't know if it's going to get too squishy. This is definitely soft in the spring here. There's some water in here in the spring, so we'll have to see how it looks. He's going to try to build himself a little bit of an island to keep the excavator on until the end. He's going around each side of it, and it'll be easier to reach in at the end. So it's they were done by about 9:30 today, which was a surprise to me. And really happy with that from a budget perspective mostly. Never really know how it's going to go when you get into something like this where you're digging and don't know exactly what the ground's going to be like or how the water's going to react. But yeah, this went really well today. They've shaped the banks. We have lots of fill to use elsewhere. Good clean fill. That was a big part of it. The hope when the dig started was that I could gain on fill and save cost on hauling more in when I need it. So got a pond out of it, and it looks really good. Here's some more of the shoreline. This is the more gravelly side, and you can kind of see the nice. It's nice. They call it river rock or river stone. You can buy it from landscapers. That's, I guess, where it naturally comes from in this sand mix. But some nice color around the shore anyway. I don't know if that'll stay, or when this caves in more, will there be more exposed. But this shoreline, the south side is definitely more gravelly. I pushed a wood picket in to just see how quick this water moves up. Put it in maybe, it's probably 45 minutes now, and it's already up over an inch probably on that entire pond size, so that's a lot of water. It looks like a beach. It's got that fine, it's really beach sand. You know, it looks like a beach when you look at that shot right there, and that's only been dug for less than 24 hours, so we're kind of happy with that. I don't know what it's going to do long term. All right, it's been 2 days since they finished digging the pond. I didn't get a chance to stop by yesterday to take a video of it, but it's filled up maybe to the maximum point right now. It's hard to say. I think it's still creeping up a little bit, but it looks really good. Really happy with it. It looks big. That frog is only a few feet from the old pond. So I'm gonna guess that's one of the frogs that we released into the river, which is only 50 yards away. So I'm pretty sure he came back in the rain yesterday. Here's a small leopard frog I'm gonna try to catch and feed to the bigger frog. And I got him. Come here. Let's see if this guy's hungry. Oh, he missed him. So it's always a slow wait for the water to clear. I want to know how deep this pond is. Everybody wants a deep pond. It's going to be a while before I can see bottom the way it's going. We were hoping to go deep when he was here with the excavator. He tried to go deep with the sand. You know, everything slides down to the lowest point, so he just kept digging and digging and digging in the center. But the water becomes so murky that nobody knew exactly where the bottom was and where it would settle to once the water filled up. As the water's filled up, it started to cave in on the sides, and that sand just gets dragged down to the bottom. So it's a long wait. I don't really want to wait. And then I had a good idea. These sonars, I have one of these for a kayak. It clips onto a boat or a kayak and works to a smartphone or a tablet. And they're pretty cool, these deeper sonars. And they also have the option where I lost their proper hook, but you can screw in a bolt and then tie your fishing line to it, so people fishing from shore can cast out, and as you reel back the sonar, it scans the bottom for depth and fish and all that. So I'm going to try it, cast this thing out down the pond and see if I can get a reading of the bottom depth, which would be pretty cool if it works. So I don't know if you can see this, it's really hard to see in the light, but it's only showing 6.5 feet, which it's got to be deeper than that, right? I pulled it all the way across, it was like 5 feet, 6 feet, 6.5 feet. I have to think it's deeper than 6.5 feet. I guess we'll have to wait and see when the water clears up. So it's been 1 week exactly since they dug the pond, and a big change, as you can see. I haven't been up here since we did do the pond. It looks great. What a change from that first shot when we were up here a week ago, with just the low grassland down there. It looks really good. The pond has this crazy greenish aqua color to it. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, probably, but it's just a crazy green, and a good green, not a bad green in a pond, but kind of a good green. Strange color, and I don't know if it's going to keep that color or fade to more clear. The river's so dark in the background, and the pond is just got that strange aqua color, so I don't know if it's from filtering through the sand or what, but I'll take it. Thank you for watching. I'm hoping the quality was okay. I tried to use my old equipment. I didn't buy anything to do this. This is an old GoPro 3, and I shot all the digging with the excavator with a 15-year-old camera tripod, Nikon tripod, a cardboard base, and a rubber band to hold my old Hero 4 on. So my equipment's a bit out of date. I know I fought with some sound, some wind. I'm hoping that wasn't too bad. I'll try to edit a little bit of that out. Apologize for that for sure. I didn't want to buy anything for this. I didn't even know if the pond would turn out, so it did turn out well. I'm hoping the video turns out okay. Got my antique drone as well. I'm gonna get one last shot over the pond, because it's really cleared up now and looks quite good. So thanks for watching. I don't know what the YouTubers say. They say like and subscribe, or subscribe and share, or something like that. But if you liked it, like it. And you actually might want to subscribe, because I'm going to try to force myself to do videos going forward with the pond. I think what we've started is pretty cool. So yeah, going forward, I hope to do more videos, kind of have a job and a family and all that, so I don't know when I'm going to get anything done on the pond. I want to just let it settle in and start to introduce the bait fish and kind of build up that ecosystem in the pond that it's going to need to sustain larger fish. I'm probably going to go with the largemouth bass. I think they're a maintenance-free fish, one that can handle hot water, warm water. I'm in Canada, so it's not going to get too hot. If they can live in those Florida marshes or whatever you call them down there, I think the largemouth bass will do fine in this pond. So that's probably the plan. It's really just to get some bait in there, see how the pond becomes a pond, because it really wasn't a pond a week ago. So yeah, I hope to film all that going forward. So yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, we'll move on with the pond project in the future.